IVM.
Hello one, hello all. Welcome to the Diary of the Traveling Professor. And I'm Siddharth Deshmukh, your friendly neighborhood traveling professor himself. What do I have in store for you today? This diary entry of mine. I wanted to talk about how the social algorithm works. Now, before you get all raisy, eyebrowy on me because of being a nerd, trust me, this has been in local parlance. Everyone's talking about it. Okay? If you haven't, which world are you living in? Because I'm sure every social gathering you go to, every party you go to, every time you have a conversation with your friends, what you hear is, I don't think Instagram's algorithm works that way. Oh, they changed the algorithm, yeah, that's why I'm not getting more likes. And the rest of it. As if they know. Well, maybe they do, but maybe they don't. I just wanted to give you my take on what actually an algorithm is when we're talking about social media, and maybe just make it a tad simpler to understand. So for that, I'd like you to imagine going into a restaurant, okay? And every time you go to this favorite restaurant of yours, they're kind of changing the chairs, okay? And the tables and the cutlery and everything else. You'll feel a little disoriented, won't you? Well, now you're getting a little bit of the picture, but imagine a little deeper. Imagine that this favorite restaurant of yours is like a club of sorts. So what's happening is that when you go down to this restaurant, you're seeing all your favorite people, they're waving at you. In fact, you kind of know the kind of conversations that are happening at each table. You sit on your particular table and life is hunky-dory. But the next time you enter that restaurant, okay, people have randomly not come. Some new guys have come in. Okay. Different conversations are happening. And you're sitting down with a different bunch of people yourself. Won't you feel disoriented? Of course you will. And that is the kind of experience that the restaurant doesn't want you to have, the club doesn't want you to have. And that's precisely the kind of experience that even every social medium does not want you to have. Which is why the social medium is trying to make sure that you are happy with the experience that you get out of coming to Instagram or going to Facebook or going on LinkedIn, or before TikTok was banned, going on TikTok and the rest of it. And it is an art and a science to make sure that that user experience is finely tuned. You need a certain amount of sameness, but you need a certain amount of variety too, right? I'm sure you get the restaurant analogy, but more than that, if you suddenly train your eyes onto social media and then understand why are you seeing a certain person's feeds onto your feed? Why are you seeing a certain person comment more? Why are you seeing lesser of a certain person? Why are you seeing a certain kind of photo? You soon understand that the so-called bubble that you're living in, which I will talk about a little bit later, is nothing but the user experience that you have demanded from that social medium. There's no conspiracy theory, guys. It's not Facebook trying to feed you certain things and enter into your mind. More often than not, it is you yourself defining the kind of user experience that you want. Facebook is just trying to figure out what kind of equation and formula it needs to have in order to provide all the users that it has with the right kind of user experience. And so is Instagram, so is LinkedIn, so is TikTok. And this formula, this ever-changing formula, this ever-changing code is the algorithm, because an algorithm is a reflection of the user experience that you're having. It is a very easy way to understand what the social algorithm is. Suddenly the mystery actually kind of decreases, but that's a good thing, isn't it? So when you say, Instagram's algorithm has changed, actually what you're saying is Instagram is trying to make my user experience better. Through my actions and my choices, I have communicated to Instagram that I like more of this and dislike more of that. Right? And when Instagram gets patterns on data from users like you, your predilections, well, the algorithm changes. Having said that, here are a couple of general observations that I have seen in this shift of the algorithm. The first thing that I'd say is before TikTok was banned, okay, I noticed something very interesting on TikTok that was not there on Instagram. And I know I'm not talking about the cringeworthiness of the content or anything of that sort. I'm not that highbrowy. I'm going to talk like, absolutely down to earth stuff over here. If you look at LinkedIn, that's also changed a bit. Haven't you seen that? And by the way, on the other hand, Facebook hasn't changed too much. So if you use the same restaurant analogy, there are some restaurants that actually don't change much, the decor, and you like them for who they are. They give you a certain sense of balance, a certain sense of continuity. While there are some others who are changing, sprucing up and the rest of it. And you like that too, because hey, we are human. We like both variety and monotony. I always love to say, if variety is the spice of life, well, then monotony is the meat. Give me both. One can't work without the other. I digress, must be getting hungry. Let's go back to what my point is. The point is, the major shift in algorithms that I have seen is a shift from personality-based stuff to skill-based stuff. If you put Facebook and Instagram on one side and TikTok and LinkedIn on the other. So with Facebook and Instagram, it is a celebration of your personality. So the algorithm celebrates your personality. Okay, its quirks, its flaws, its attributes, and the rest of it. And it creates a bubble around that personality. But on TikTok and LinkedIn, you might think that these are so diametrically opposite to each other that they can't be even talked about in the same breath. But trust me, they are very similar. Both of them are celebrating skills, not personalities. So LinkedIn celebrates a certain kind or type of skills. It can be construed as a new age resume of sorts. While TikTok celebrates each and every bloody Sunil Shetty in that tier 2 or tier 3 town. And that mimicry and that acting ability and that editing ability and that emotion, all of that stuff on TikTok is still skill-based, not personality-based. So if you see TikTok stars and LinkedIn influencers, they are very different from Facebook stars and, Instagram influencers. You have personality versus skills, and you see the growth of TikTok and the growth of LinkedIn probably suggesting that people are moving a little bit away from personality to skill. Not that it's permanent, guys. It will go right back because these things are cyclical. These things are not linear. Well, I hope you like this explanation of mine about the social algorithm and how it's connected to the user experience that you yourself are demanding from the medium. In fact, if a brand is supposed to connect to the social algorithm, it needs to keep this deeply in mind, very deeply in mind. For such stuff, well, I am on LinkedIn myself because the algorithm suits me there. I'm the traveling professor, and I'm on Instagram because the algorithm suits me there as well. I put on a bit of a funny hat on Instagram though. I'm the traveling professor. You can also catch me on YouTube, wherein I run a conversation called Tell Me About It. It's with industry experts. And for those who like podcasts like these, there's ivmpodcast.com that you can go for, or just download the app.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. So, been a really exciting week on the network this week. We've had some really cool stuff. My old friend Vivek Lad was on Storytellers and Storysellers. Definitely do check that out. On Cyrus Said, we had Ashwin Sanghi on Thursday's episode, and Cyrus and myself did a cock and bull, just the two of us. That was fun as well on Monday. Do check that out. Masaba was on Advertising is Dead, which was another really, really strong episode from Varun. And on the sports front, both Edges and Sledges, Football Shitball had some really fun episodes. That's the Football Twaddle. Do check those out as well. And if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been listening to Smile India in these times, I don't know why you aren't. It's the most uplifting show that you could listen to. It's a short, bite-sized piece of really positive things that happen in India. Do definitely check that out. And with that, we hope to see you again next week.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.